Hello and welcome to another day in the life of the Pod Collective. Today, as you can see, we're actually in Jack's kitchen, and we're just going to have a bit of a chat so far about what's been going on so far, and sort of the project up till now. How do you think it's gone, Jack?
No, good so far. To be fair, there's some hurdles which I thought would be an issue, like. We've managed to overcome them quite quickly, to be fair. Obviously, leading up to Christmas, because obviously, as you know, what we're doing, there's a lot of things we want to do, we want to crack on straight away, but I understand limitations-wise being Christmas is slowing things down. Yeah. In our partnership, it's quite great, because I'm the manic one who wants to crack on with everything. You kind of slow things down, which is important, but yeah, definitely...
There's some times that I've actually had to reel Jack in. I don't think people realise. When you get a little bit of money into the account, he wants to do everything straight away and buy everything. So it needs a bit of a level head, but it's also a good sort of trait to have. It's like a doing person.
Doing, which is, I know, as I said before, you get the best laid plan in the world, but without action, there's nothing that really gets done. But definitely, so far it's really good. Now we've got the toilet sorted, and all the fiasco of the keys and and then delivering it, but. And then I've got all the everything sorted for toilet.
So for those that didn't see that or haven't seen the other episodes, we'll put a link to that, but also somewhere down here or down there or whatever. But basically, what happened there was the toilet took about 5 hours more than what we thought it would to get to the location on our farm, and then when it did arrive, we thought that we needed a key. Because it had a keyhole, and we didn't realise what you could actually do is just force open the shutter that would allow us to open the toilet. We also thought that when it arrived, it didn't have any of the chemicals that we had also bought, but they were inside it. So it's all a learning process, and I think it will be the same when the box arrives as well. There'll be lots of things that will happen that, this time around, it will be a learning process.
I think it's all just been very new. Like when the guy arrived with the lorry, he said if I said it was 300 kilos, we need something to get it off. And obviously on the farm, there's different equipment to get things off, but because we weren't told of any of this, so it was really dark as well. Everyone staring at us, wondering why there's a massive, huge lorry making noise outside.
Everyone had decided that they were going to arrive at that point as well, didn't they?
And we had things we can't do, and obviously we didn't have a clue on what we were doing at that point, trying to get this lorry off, and this guy's like just reversing everywhere.
Yeah, the guy said it was 300 kilograms, and we got over to it, and we were like, surely not, it's a Portaloo. And it turned out it was just really light, and we were able to just move it across and take it out. But yeah, what a fiasco.
There's because obviously one thing I was worried about, obviously because it's being quite light, I don't want it to get stolen, but there's little slots on each corner which we can nail down, which I didn't actually know, to be fair.
Okay.
When my dad went to see, so if you hide it on the corner, we should be fine.
I think the other plan also with that is to have that section of it gated off. So what we'll do is, so the toilet will not be, or the Portaloo won't actually be on show. It will be sort of gated off, and it will have sort of maybe a sign on the actual box to the toilet. We just want to make it as sort of pleasant to look at as possible, basically, without seeing just a Portaloo on the side of it.
It does look quite smart though, for a toilet, but now we've got that sorted, and the unit's going to come in 3 to 4 weeks, so hopefully...
We're waiting just to hear back on confirmation of when the box will actually get here. But when it is, it's got all the electrics in it and everything. It just needs us to install the studios, which we're really looking forward to doing.
I just want to crack on now.
Even though me and Jack have no experience of DIY, but that will be fun, and that will be fun for you guys to watch too. So there you go. And
then got us something out. It's just we sorted out the website today, didn't we?
Yeah.
Website sorted.
We've gone for something on Fiverr to start off with, but they look like a really good company who have done some really good work in the past. So we'd like to. Luckily, Jack is a videographer / photographer / content in general. So we're quite lucky in that aspect that we have someone that can put nice videos and photography on there once our studios are made. But yeah, the plan for the website I mean, it would have been a bit more easier probably if it didn't have a booking system on it, but that's what we want to do. We need that. We need people to be able to pay through the website. We need to be able to see a calendar that is sort of real-time calendar that can show how many hours have been booked, whether we need also a members area, because there'll be memberships for our container and for our studios. So yeah, all these things mean that obviously we're trying to keep costs down, but we've managed to get a really good one.
Yeah, it's definitely at the moment we know what we want to get, so it's just trying to find the cheapest, best avenues of doing it, really. But definitely with the website, the important factor was just when we're diverting all the traffic there, it's just a simplistic concept of booking, ordering, seeing what you're going to do, and options for sale and availability and things. So it has to be right.
Yeah. And then once this is done, sort of a look into the future is that we want to basically rinse and repeat. So basically, if this box does well with the 2 studios in it, we'll use the revenue from that to obviously go into the marketing and everything behind it, but also to buying a new box, perhaps already done. It depends how the fit actually goes. But what we want to do in the future is just keep rinsing and repeating, and maybe having a few locations close to start off with, probably close by, but then maybe later down the line we'll look further afield.
Yeah, but it's good to cover the main areas covered. Obviously, we're currently it was good to get some more Milton Keynes and Northampton. So definitely, it's opened up. Because to be fair, the market is very unsaturated. Yeah. So we're having a good system, a really good product, and then have the opportunity to expand with the next kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then the other thing was that there is something out there that is basically like an Airbnb, but for studios and sort of workspaces. It's called Peerspace, and we looked on there, and there's really not that much competition in the area on Peerspace anyway, and all the ones that were in the area, we are outpricing them massively. So it's a really big opportunity for us. It's just whether people actually use Peerspace in the UK. In the US, they've got so many all over the country. Honestly, they've got like in every city, and the tiny cities as well that you haven't even heard of. There's one or two basically. So yeah, and I feel like in America it's quite big, Peerspace, but over here in the UK, we'll see if we get much business from that.
What other accounts are there to use?
There's nothing.
Really. Oh, okay.
Yeah, other than I don't think you can. There's no like option on Airbnb to have workspace or something like that. So the other option is that we make our own or something like that. But yeah, Peerspace seems to be the only one really in the UK. But that's not saying that they're not in like bigger cities like London and Manchester. But that's the only place that they are. That's the problem at the moment. Like there's no there's nothing for the rest of us, if you like. There's just for London.
The good thing is it's kind of like, but then when we do get started, it will take a bit of time to push it out to specific marketplaces. But when it is there,
well, that's where Google Ads will come in. We'll do quite a lot of localized marketing with Google Ads, and we'll probably think about doing some sort of PR campaign as well. But that's when we have a little bit more money. But no, Google Ads will be a massive one. The searches, we've done a bit of research behind it, but it will take some time to get it going. But we've got a bit of budget now, so we should be okay with that.
At least the important thing is obviously just to get everything sorted for us, so it's all functioning and running, and then anything extra is just
We're very aware that this isn't something that you build and they will come. It needs to be the marketing around it, all the organic content like we're doing now, and there needs to be quite a few different strategies that we use to get people to it, and whether that's organically or through sort of paid advertising as well.
But you have we've got a lot of ideas ready to go, which is good.
Yeah, exactly. So we're also thinking about having some sort of event that it's like an opening event, but it'll probably be after opening, because when we do open it, it'll still be cold. So we're looking at doing some sort of summer event, because the farm that it's on would be lovely in the summertime. So yeah, that would be inviting lots of sort of local businesses and not so local businesses, maybe from MK, Northamptonshire, and maybe more further afield as well, to come and try out our studios and
yeah. Maybe they can get like a free half an hour in the studio, because obviously with the podcast studio is going to be really great, because it's going to be for podcasters and content creators, because obviously we're filming in my mum's kitchen. Someone said someone put a comment on my video once saying your nan's curtains. My mother she was very upset.
Yeah.
She was very upset.
Actually his mum's curtains.
literally. But obviously we can use it for content creation. So maybe these events and stuff, people can come down, use the pod.
And these videos won't have to be in here anymore.
Yeah, they won't.
They'll be in our PodBox.
Yeah. So we should get like pictures from each stage.
Yeah.
Because didn't Apple start in a shed? And ours started in Nan's curtains.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did. And we could start
here.
It
Started in your nan's curtains. I don't think that should go anywhere.
Yeah, I said that wrong actually. But yeah, definitely the poll for the events come down. Don't know, can you make like, for example, like a free half an hour? Because if you get a few people doing it, then it'd be nice to.
And then we were also thinking, weren't we, about possibly buying a sort of more mobile box, maybe even like a horse box, and then putting a studio in there,
like a single studio
that we can take to events, and then people can try it out, etc. And that would be a good idea, I think. But yeah, there was quite a few things that were coming up. The other thing was an idea that we've just had is, I was told by someone the other day that they worked in a porter cabin. And the problem with noise was that
there's a bit of flap on it.
The problem with noise was that the rain they could hear on the top of it a lot of the time. So we've come up with an idea of putting soil up there and adding sort of grass seeds to it. I know it would probably get a load of crows coming over or something like that, but we put a scarecrow up there.
Do you think grass or flowers?
I think grass.
Okay, yeah.
And we had like some sort of meadow.
Yeah.
It could have flowers, to be fair, but and things that encourages some sort of ecosystem on top of it as well.
Have you seen that? That drink, that fruit drink, and like I can't remember what it is called. Nature One. Basically, they have a van which drive around, and there's the van's nature kind of drink, and this van drives around and it's covered in like grass. Well, it was fake grass. Yeah. And it's quite eye-catchy. I quite like it. I hate the drink, but the van I really like. Yeah. So the grass could be a good idea, actually.
Yeah. And hopefully block out the rain. But if we did have rain, that would be good for our roof.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 2 birds, 1 stone, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. We're just going to chat a little bit now about sort of how the Pod Collective came about, really. Do you want to just go into a little bit of detail, Jack?
Yeah, of course. So, the Pod Collective started really because when we started our series, Graphcast, wasn't it? So, because obviously there definitely were different content creation. I feel like one of my favourite things to film are podcasts, and as they're becoming so popular now for different thought leadership content, down in your sales funnel and just a general way of just communicating with your clients or people you like. Obviously, I had the start of Graphcast, discussing and liaising with other different clients. We felt we had a really good feel of how to film a podcast. Obviously, we're using your marketing skills, my videography skills to actually film it. It kind of linked in quite nicely because you're an ideas man, to be fair. You are very good at your ideas. I feel like you come with ideas and I can like think of ways how to do it, which is a good kind of I try and think of ideas, but you are good at it, to be fair. Yeah, and then kind of thought the idea for the Pod Collective, where we plan, produce and promote podcasts for businesses. So, and then the good thing is we can use our Graphcast plethora of content to show the audience this is what you can do for your podcast.
Yeah, I think as well, so basically the idea of the PodBox literally came about 3 weeks ago, and that shows how quickly things turn around. So like we just thought, I think it came up in like a joking sense, like that we just wanted to we needed a studio, and we were sort of saying, we should get a shipping container. And then Jack just kept like sending me videos, even though he could have sent the link of things online. Like showing a video from his phone of him looking on his iPad.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
when he could have sent the link from the container site. Anyway, and then he was like, "Oh, we don't need containers. We need porta cabins because they can fit together. They have windows." They probably already have all the stuff that you need in it, so that's where the PodBox has come from. But the Pod Collective, well, I mean, it's still a short amount of time really, because I took the leap in May to sort of do my marketing agency full time, and then I feel like it might have been like end of May, June, where I got in touch with Jack to have a chat at a coffee shop. We won't say what coffee shop. There's lots available. I was about to say it, but I'm not going to. But I just had a chat because I wanted to start some sort of podcast, and I'd split it with Jack. And I think from the first one, it just went from there really. And when we saw how much quality that we could get out of our podcasts, and thought that other people, and we got lots of people saying on LinkedIn and other sort of channels that how good a quality the podcasts were. So we really wanted to share that with people and turn it into a service and have our own thing. So yeah,
definitely. And the good thing is, we've got a lot of different social proof of what works well, because I think we've done quite a lot of episodes now, but then podcast-wise, over the last year and a half, I filmed a lot of different podcasts, and I see that my first podcast I did to the newest one we did, like Chalk and Cheese. So it's good that we kind of already had that a lot of a plethora of content before, working out that didn't work. That's the best framing. It's the best microphones to use, best location, and then it's kind of left from there really. Yeah,
I think from a person that's not a videographer point of view, it's the mics that have been the biggest change. But you've obviously thought about framing and all sorts and all the editing in the background. But for me, I think the biggest step for us was definitely getting Shure mics or something like that. Because I remember one episode, and I'll say it was Will's episode. It was a great episode, but it could have been so much better because the mics were crap, weren't they?
Yeah, it was. I think that one of the it was a trick. It was annoying. It was annoying. Yeah, because Will had quite a loud voice. Obviously, do not blame the victim. It's not saying so it kind of popped a bit. It's a great episode, but definitely. But the good thing is, you have the old episodes on the account. Cause some people want to delete old content, but the important thing is you show growth, don't you?
Absolutely.
Show the episode which you first did to your newest ones, and then people can see, okay, that's where they came from.
Definitely,
that's where they are now.
Yeah, and I think the ideas that it's all things that you test out and you get basically learn from as well. So I think things like the getting sort of people at the start of their journeys on, the start of it was starting Scala, wasn't it? I mean, this seems like we're talking about it like it was 2 years ago, but it was like 6 months, 5 months ago. So we basically did this series where we talked to people at the start of their entrepreneurial journeys. It's something that we could bring back, but we haven't had enough time, to be honest. But that's the sort of thing that obviously didn't get the best sort of reach or didn't get the best views, and I don't think it maybe would have worked in what we're doing now. So that's just something that we've had to sort of adjust and learn from, basically.
But then it's good that we're trying these new things to work out what does work best. And especially with what we have moving forward and the steps we are making is we're reaching their bigger audiences now. And obviously, I think I know, for example, our following on Instagram's gone up loads, which is great. So obviously, to be fair, generally, because obviously we work with it's just people with people. That's what you work with, and you see people when they're great. It doesn't matter if someone's got 0 followers, if they've got to 100,000 followers. But it's the people we chat to. But it's definitely, I'm sure that there's always different platforms how we can start that series up again, or in a different way, or
definitely. And when we have a bit more time, I think at the moment priorities have changed to the Pod Collective and building PodBox. Obviously, we actually do have an episode that we're going to be filming on Thursday, isn't it? For Graphcast with Mark Finney. who was the head of strength and conditioning at Northampton Saints. So check that episode out when you get the chance.
He's also got his new program out, Fit Dad Body Plan.
I saw that, and he's got a good relationship with James Haskell.
He has, and the man's in his 50s, and he's got a six-pack as well. I don't know how he's doing it.
That won't be coming out in the episode. We're keeping it PG. At the moment, we're still testing out things, seeing what works. You know, what episodes work, and that's what it's all about, really, and that's what marketing's about in general, I think.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's good to just it's all about prioritising time. So it is quite tricky when we want to do so many things we want to be doing, but definitely keeping the episodes up, because through the episodes we do long form content. I try and make about 10 to 15 shorts and last quite a long period of time. But definitely having all this content together, because obviously you've got Social Room, OSS Media, Pod Collective, Graphcast, we're all making content. It's kind of like it's all like one big class, because we're going to listen to our other channels and all links in showing that we're doing, and you can see what we're doing. So
can you tell we've both got ADHD? How many things we've got going on?
And I can imagine when we're actually doing, because we think it will take about a week.
Well, that's the other thing. I think that's another thing that might sort of not throw us, but it'll be a surprise how long it will take. I've been watching that one. I think I showed you, Jack, the thing that I sent you today. It was called Professional Idiots, and yes, it says it in the name that they're professional idiots, and they're doing a similar thing to us, but they've taken a shipping container and they're making a house out of it, and they were 4 weeks down and they'd got to like plastering. I don't know if we'll be doing plastering, to be honest, because it's but it's all the acoustic insulation, all that sort of stuff. Was that falling down?
No, I'm moving with my feet, and I just realised to stop moving with my feet. Yeah. But I saw another one they're doing. They're renovating that bus. But I guess what they're doing, I think for who we're going to be doing, how we're working it out, I think, because I know, like, we want to crack on straight away, but I know they're technically, to keep reminding myself, there is technically no rush. Yeah. There is a rush, I want to crack on straight away, but I know there's not a rush. But when we start, we're hoping to start maybe on the 6th of Jan, perhaps preferable. And then as soon as we get out there, obviously we're simultaneous activities, so we were going on other stuff doing at the same time, but I think, because we'll be documenting it the whole time, so at least we'll be able to literally tell, because then for our other boxes, we go to other places, we can realize, okay, this one, we thought it would take 10 minutes, but it took 86 hours. Or we'll realise what actually, we know specifically how long something will take, but yeah, it should be exciting though.
Yeah, exactly. No, it is exciting. It's all a very exciting time. I don't sound excited, but it's an exciting time.
It's just a lot to.
How long do we want this to be?
Should end off here? Is that we said everything we need to say?
Yeah, I think so. There's quite a lot that we've said there, to be
fair.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for watching this episode of A Day in the Life of the Pod Collective. This one's been a little bit different to the others, just a little bit more of a chat. As we said in the video, we're just trying things out and seeing what sort of does best. So the next video coming up is our behind the scenes of our Graphcast episode with Mark Finney. We're really looking forward to speaking to Mark about his career and his new business. But it's been great to see you guys, and see you in the next one.
Yeah. So that, guys.
Yeah, cheers.